Next, a comic tour de force about the highs and lows of getting old. Geezer is a critically acclaimed one-man show that's selling out audiences at San Francisco's Marsh Theater. In a moment, David Iverson will talk with the writer and star, local actor Geoff Hoyle. First, a clip from Geezer.
Welcome to Disease, the video game. All rights reserved. Your pre-game profile. 65-year-old white male. Varicosities, right leg. Age-related benign prostate enlargement. Gum recession. Minimally attached gingiva. Degenerative disc disease. Are you ready to play?
Geoff Hoyle, welcome. Where did that idea come from, the idea of turning death into a video game?
It's a game you can never win. And I thought that was an interesting metaphor for, certainly a way many people in America, at least, see death. It's something that you can you can overcome in some ways. I don't think it's the case in other countries so much. Certainly in Europe, there's a much more of an acceptance of that, and ripeness is all. We ripe and then we rot and rot. We're all in the same train.
Is that part of what you wanted to do in the show then, is to look at all the various ways in which you come at death, and that the way you look at that obviously changes as you go through your own life?
Exactly. I mean, I just trying to take the lid off the box, open the box and say, look, everybody has these feelings. So let's look at them and let's accept them and see if we can make it better for ourselves, and rather than ignoring them.
When did you start thinking about doing this? You just had a rather significant birthday, right? Does that all coincide?
Yes, the next big thing, Medicare. Wow, it did coincide. Friday was my birthday, the 15th of April, tax day. Also the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. I've been thinking about this for about a couple of years now. I started doing this old geezer character around the dinner table, and it got lots of laughs because people, they could see me transforming. There, I'd really get into this. All right, treat every day as if it were your last. One day you'll be right. And not hearing things, and sometimes my daughter will call me Gramps. She'll say, "Oh, Gramps, come and look at you," and she'll wipe my face like this. Yeah. And I play along.
And the play also gives you an opportunity to also be the 12-year-old you once were. So it calls upon that sort of physicality. It must be an incredibly challenging thing to do, to go from being 12 to being 85 or whatever, as you do throughout the course of the play, and back again.
It's called acting. I mean, you learn how to do that. And particularly my thrust with acting is to be able to do lots of different physically based roles. I like to think of it, if I want to justify it in sort of intellectual terms, it's like the ancient pantomimus, from which pan meaning everything, mimus imitator of. So I get to imitate everything. Lights, bacon frying, snails, my father, my grandfather, me when I was 12. It's a plethora of things that I can throw at the audience.
And there's a point in the play where you could sort of do this quick autobiographical sketch that you were in the Ozarks, and that took you to San Francisco, and that took you to The Lion King, and that took you to being old. And so it's a way of calling upon all that you've also done in your acting career, all of the work you've done in Pickle Family Circus and Mime, to bring all of that together.
Yeah, and I think, interestingly enough, what I'm trying to call upon are large archetypes that people would recognize and pin them to their own lives. Yeah. What were you like when you were 40? I've even thought of having a gallery of photos of people, audience members who would bring in themselves at age 40 and themselves now at age 65, those who have made it that far. And we put them together, and we can laugh at them or wonder at them or marvel at them, but see them as part of life.
And one of my favorite lines in the play is when you look fondly to the time when both text and friends were nouns.
Right. Sometimes that gets a huge laugh, sometimes it doesn't. And then I say that who wants to live on cardboard and rice milk to get an extra 2 days in hospice? Cook with butter, yes, exercise, but come on, it's life. We're never going to get out of this thing alive, as they say.
So much of the play is about fathers and sons at different points in your own life as a young boy and then in your relationship with your own children. Tell me something about what you drew upon there. There's a wonderful scene where you go back and visit your parents as a young man and you bring them a bottle of wine, the kind of thing we all do, and then you realize, what am I doing? That's not who my parents are.
It's completely inappropriate for them. And then later when I'm with my children and they bring friends over, I'm completely inappropriate to them. I have to say, I need to credit David Ford, my director and co-conspirator in this, for pushing me in that direction. He, I think, very cleverly intuited that this was a very rich mine for me. Because my father died when I was so young, and because I am now a father, you see that wheel of life, that continuum. And he was really pushing me to, and I couldn't figure it out at times. I think, why do we have to do all this stuff about my father? But he knew what he was doing, and I trusted him, and it paid off.
And is it a way then in the end for you to be able to say those things that you wish you could have said to your father, and also in a way say to your son those things that you still can't? Well,
you know, there's a lot of eye-dabbing goes on when I'm playing my dad, as I do at the end of the show, and that comes simply out of the fact that I had a coat which actually belongs to my son, that I put on, and then I had these mad glasses, bifocals, that my daughter used to use for dress up, and I have a cap that I got in Donegal in Northern Ireland. And I put it on and I looked at myself in my big performance mirror and I said, I am my dad. And it was kind of stunning. And so I said, pay dirt, I got to use this.
Geoff Hoyle, pleasure to have you on our program. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Cheers. Wait, why does this say Mel Wax Newsroom?
Well, Geezer's running at the Marsh Theater in San Francisco. It is sold out through July, but it will be extended.